Hello and welcome to Yap Back, the show where I yap and you yap back. Today's topic is, would you start FF14 in 2026? It's a sort of a question that I've seen being asked in different streams at the moment, and I think it is a wider topic that has been discussed since Endwalker and even since the start of Dawn Trail, to be honest, in terms of there's so much content to that you have to get through in order to catch up to everybody else. But in that same respect, you don't actually have to play catch up with everybody else, because you're not going to miss out on what people are experiencing now. It's just that you'll be experiencing it at a different date, that obviously better suits you and better suits your playstyle and better suits the time you have to put into the game. So I think it is interesting to sort of take that pause in this sort of lull, as we are preparing for Evercold, to actually think back onto, now would you start FF14, because there is hundreds of hours of story to get through, and like you have to get through it. And I think even me saying you have to get through it is a big, it's a big disclaimer to, I think, how a lot of FF fans feel about skipping, because it's so integral to our experience to go through the whole journey, because it's the whole journey together that gets paid off in the end in the saga from A Realm Reborn to Endwalker, and therefore your investment in that, and especially I know I'm a fucking emotional vampire with it all. I will go back and rewatch so many different people reacting to the end of ARR, reacting to this moment in Heaven's Ward, reacting. I didn't think I watched anyone react to Stormblood that much, only the post patch, but especially Shadowbringers, pretty much all the Shadowbringers, and then Endwalker. Like, there's that chain on effect of community, in seeing how people react to it, and I enjoy experiencing how and getting different perspectives of how people see different different story plots happening, different arcs reconciling, what impact that has on them, how do they feel about it. That's for me, that's what's so fun to go back and revisit, because obviously I'm hoping it's different or somewhat similar to my own, and I think that's how a lot of people in the community feel, and that's why there's such a barrier to entry in a way, because it's like, well, you, in order to be that emotionally invested, to have such visceral reactions to these characters and to the moments in the plot and the story, you need to go from the very start, and I know that for some people it's just not, it doesn't compel them, especially with such expectations that we build up as a community around them. They're not necessarily compelled by Around Reborn, and Around Reborn's a lot of hours in itself just to get to the good part, and this whole idea is just get through this and then you'll get to the good part. And while I do agree that's there, you know, I think it's important for people to enjoy each expansion within itself. For me personally, like, I enjoyed Around Reborn, especially the very end of Around Reborn. That is what's got me hooked. I have a video about that's what got me hooked. It's one of my first videos actually about that moment, that cutscene. That is what made me like, oh, okay, like we're gonna pick up the pace now. But obviously, for some people, they might not even get to that point or that, and if they're not enjoying Around Reborn, I enjoyed it enough. I think like the anime style thing does appeal to me as someone that watches anime, so it's cool just to see some cool cutscenes. I think like when Yaguri and Thancred are like having a ninja off, like I was just like, oh, that's really cool. Okay, pause. I'm gonna go and re-roll a ninja now. So there are these like small elements that got me to keep playing, that I enjoyed playing. So therefore, I got to those hook points. But for some people, that might not land there. So then they're not, if they're not what are they left with if they're not enjoying their experience now? It's very hard for them to like push forward just because they know something better is coming. Um, so it is a very interesting sort of debate in a way, to whether, because it comes down to should people skip or not. Um, I think that people, oh, I say this lightly, I think people could skip. Don't like I could They could skip the whole of the last saga to start at the end of Dawn Trail, going into Heaven's Ward without too much issue. It's just one of those where they just wouldn't be as invested in the characters, as people that have played through the whole story. But I think because it's the start of a new saga and start of a new wider story, um, you know, we're sort of re-establishing that the Scions are back, and that's sort of getting re-established, and we're establishing new villains as such, and establishing a new way forward. Um, I think it's just then a lot of subtext is missed, and I think that's what people love, with the game and with the story and with the writing. Look at the teaser trailer for Evercold. Even look at the teaser trailer for Shadowbringers. Imagine you skipped all of from ARR to Stormblood for Shadowbringers. Like, you're not really gonna know who Minfilia is, and therefore like that moment's gone. Like, a whole character's story arc is really gone, um, and the importance that plays into another character's story arc. I think there's so many these bonds that the characters have, which end up getting missed, or get end up being shallow. So it's one of those where if you are really a story focused player and you want to play through the story, first and then play the MMO second, then I think that you should start from the very beginning. And I think hopefully Square Enix, with its new systems and whatnot, do help people to sort of streamline that a bit more. I also had like, from my play experience, it's fine to take breaks, or it's fine to just enjoy being where you're at, with it, rather than feeling like this need to rush on forward. Um, but yeah, I think if the MMO is what you're wanting to play more first, which could become a possibility now with the changing battle systems and all the system changes, people might want to be playing the MMO FF14, even though the story is its main selling point. So therefore, they have the option at least. But obviously, it is hard with people's limited time schedules and the little time, spare time people have in their lives, to get through this whole story. You'd have to really think of it as like a book, more or less. Like, you're gonna play a chapter a night, to get through it, and you will get through it eventually. It's just slow and steady. I think for me, looking back on my own experience, I came into 14 during the WoW Exodus. I was a WoW refugee, even though I wasn't really playing World of Warcraft, but hey ho, I consumed WoW content still. So I saw all the discourse from the streamers and the YouTubers, and so I saw the move to FF14, or not necessarily the initial move, but the idea of, oh, we might try it at FF14. So I was like, okay, fuck it. Like, I was at an ending chapter in my life, so I decided, cool, let me go and play 14. I think I'm gonna get demonetized now. I swore, whatever. Not that I'm monetized. Hey ho. So yeah, I think going into 14, I just didn't have any expectations. I didn't have any intentions of playing the game. It was kind of just, for me, it was something to play. It was an MMO. The class fantasy looked cool. So I was sort of like, cool, I'll just try it. And then that's how I sort of ended up working my way through. Like, around Reborn, I really I started I maybe played an hour a day, if that, for a little bit, getting through it around Reborn, and slowly but surely working my way through, doing my job role quests. That was all fun. I enjoy the like job role quest side of it because it's something that I would say is very unique to 14. So that's obviously cool, and the classes themselves are very unique, as I said just previously. Then, so I would say I waddled my way through A Realm Reborn, and hit like end of Realm Reborn, got flying. We love to get flying, and then got into the patch quests. And then for me, it was the cutscene of a parting glass. That happened. Then I was hooked. And then I started trailblazing through. I think I trailblazed through Heaven's Ward so quickly. And that obviously had the knock on effect of going into Stormblood. With Stormblood, I think I hit Stormblood, and I kind of like Stormblood was a bit more patchy in terms of playing. Like I would play a bulk and then pause, and then play another bulk and then pause, and then I hit Stormblood post quests at the end, and then a similar effect with ARR. End of ARR happened for me in Stormblood, where it was just like, okay, where's everyone gone? Like, I need to know. And then bam, into Shadowbringers. We trailblazed through Shadowbringers, and I would say Endwalker was the one where and then I trailblazed through Endwalker, obviously, but I played less during the end patch, and I played the patches when they came out. So it was steady progress overall. It had highs of playing loads, and then sort of lower dims of not playing it so much or not trying to get through the story so much. I didn't I think that's it. I didn't force myself to get through the story if I wasn't feeling the story at the moment. It's that when I was really feeling the story, and like it isn't a matter of wanting to know what happened. I needed to know what happened. That sort of fully drew me into playing through like it. And I think that's a big takeaway from in like just in general with 14. If you're thinking of getting into 14, or if you're reflecting on your own journey, is like I would hope that everyone felt like they were able to play at their own pace. I even watched one streamer that I love. She plays it with her cousin weekly. you know, they've got through Dawn Trail now, and they're in post patch quests, and they're finished Dawn Trail by the time Evercore comes out. And I think that just proves that you can play at your own pace while still doing daily GT roulettes and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, I did have a situation where I had to start again because I forgot my account password, and then made a new account, and then I played all of A Realm Reborn again into Heaven's Ward. But I mean, I skipped cutscenes, so it wasn't a proper playthrough because obviously I know what happens. But yeah, even playing through it again, that was nice. But obviously, a lot of ARR stuff I skipped because I've already seen this, or not necessarily I've seen this. I'm not. There isn't anything more I want to gain from revisiting these scenes. So I think that's also a big part in it. But yeah, I think I would definitely start it again. I think it's such the story and the payoffs are just magnifique. They're just so worth it. I love it. So yeah, thank you for listening to this episode of Yap Back. Please let me know your experience of starting 14, or if you would start 14 in 2026 down below in the comments. And I appreciate you listening. Please like, subscribe, and follow for more content. Thank you.